of a pet. My pets are my favorite people in this house. And when I lose them, it is heart-wrenching and very hard to kind of get my equilibrium back. And don't tell my stepkids or my husband I said that. So marriages and partnerships. So here are some non-death related losses. So friends, separation from one's parent or primary caregiver, whether or not the person is taken away for whatever reason, person leaves, the children are taken out of the home, moving. So when I moved from Delaware to California, I remember I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to get to the grocery store. But when I finally figured that out, and I go in and I'm like, where did they put the bread and why is it not on the right hand side? Because that's where it's supposed to be, is on the right hand side. And now it might be on the left or in the back, and I am completely discombobulated. And I know that sounds silly, but it's not like I grieved my bread. The grieving style is unacceptable. And so that would be like, for example, maybe I'm the type of person, I see this in couples when I work with them sometimes, I'm the kind of person that really openly expresses the grief, my feelings. I want to talk about it. I want to chew on it. I want to process it. And then my spouse, who in this example, my husband, is more of a kind of person that doesn't express himself and kind of keeps it inside, thinks about it, is grieving, is maybe more active, tinkering around in the garage or, thinking about it, but not really expressing it. And so there can be a conflict there where both people are disenfranchising one another, where, the wife might be saying, or the husband's partner might be saying, I don't understand why you're not expressing yourself. There's something wrong with you, and you must not have loved that person. I mean, these are all things that I've heard where the husband was that he was trying to make her feel better, and he didn't know how to fix it. And he thought, well, maybe if she stops crying, she'll start feeling better. And so we talked about disenfranchisement, and of course, he was absolutely appalled, which we tried to work with that as well. And so after that, if in their conversation, he said something that kind of was off-putting for her, she'd be like, "You're disenfranchising me." One of the great things about psychoeducation with your clients is that they have an opportunity to be able to find words to express what they're going through, and then to work with you perhaps or on their own ways on how they can respond to those individuals that they feel like are disenfranchising them. All right, a third way is giving unsolicited advice. I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier. Maybe you started dating again, Mom. No, it's not even been a year. I can't even imagine that right now. Now that you're starting to think a little bit more about what you've expected of yourself and maybe some of the things that you haven't recognized in yourself, consider how that might be coming across to other people. So understanding also your own countertransference, or what is coming out in the therapy room that might be getting in the way of the work that needs to be done. In considering your own grief responses, you may be the kind of person that's really open in expressing your grief and really open in processing it and wanting to talk to people about your loss. And just because we have other people that are more instrumental in their grieving process, which means people who, as I mentioned before, are more kind of like problem solvers, want to think about it on their own, etc., it doesn't mean that they're grieving incorrectly. It means that they're grieving in a different kind of grieving style. And so consider your own grief responses and see how they might be buttoned up against